All right, guys. So apparently Kyle Rittenhouse caused quite a stir over the weekend. Let's talk about it. Kyle Rittenhouse does a 180 and endorses Trump after deluge of hate messages from the MAGAverse. So at first he came out and said, I'm not voting for Trump. And then after getting shit on for 12 hours straight, he did a 180. Kyle Rittenhouse endorsed former President Donald Trump on Friday after being deluged with hate messages following an earlier announcement he would write in former Representative Ron Paul in 2024. That's the pinnacle of libertarianism. The 21-year-old who was tried and acquitted in the shooting of the deaths of two men during a wave of civil unrest in Kenosha, Wisconsin in 2020, had called Trump bad on gun rights and vowed not to vote for him in a post on X, formerly Twitter. But after half a day of receiving hate messages and facing accusations of treason, the Second Amendment advocate announced he had pivoted and would support Trump's third White House bid. Rittenhouse tweeted, "Over the past 12 hours, I've had a series of productive conversations with members of the Trump team." That's embarrassing. "And I am confident he will be the strong ally gun owners need to defend our Second Amendment rights. My comments made last night were ill-informed and unproductive. I'm 100% behind Donald Trump and encourage every gun owner to join me in helping send him back to the White House." Wow. The sudden about-face followed a torrent of attacks launched against Rittenhouse, who met with Trump after he was acquitted in 2021. Many of those attacks were from accounts that had accused Rittenhouse of being disloyal to Trump's MAGA movement. So this guy says, Oh well, Kyle, I regret to inform you that I will no longer be one of your guests on September 12th at the TXGR event. I reckon you can write in someone else. This was not the way, bud." So that's one person. That one was actually relatively nice. This one says, "Just unfollowed you. If not for MAGA, you would be rotting in a prison bending over for Bubba. MAGA raised unbelievable sums of money for you. Trump welcomed you into his home. This is how you thank him in the MAGA movement after all those years of support. Fuck you." And the horse you wrote in on, maybe? Don't care enough to click. Wow, this is really disappointing after how much support he gave you. Voting Ron Paul is pretty much voting for Kamala. Very ignorant. Kyle Shittenhouse can go eat a dick. Respectfully, Kyle, can you please explain what changed? If Harris wins, the Second Amendment is finished. God, these people know nothing. It's hilarious. In his initial remarks about his inability to support Trump, Rittenhouse said, "If you cannot be completely uncompromisable on the Second Amendment, I will not vote for you." He added, "We need champions for the Second Amendment, or our rights would be eaten away and eroded each day." And then here's a tweet from Kyle that says, "Stand by your principles." So he said, "I'm not going to vote for Trump, and I'm going to vote in Ron Paul." Then a little while after that, he posted another video basically being like, "You guys don't scare me. I'm standing on my principles, bro. I'm not taking a goddamn thing back." And then again, fast forward, it was 12 hours from the very first tweet to this one. He's like, "Okay, I guess I'll vote for Trump. Trump's people talk to me." Okay, so a couple points. Number one, it is the most embarrassing thing I've ever heard that people around Trump, like Trump's campaign, they reached out to Kyle Rittenhouse. They were like, please, stay with Trump. Vote for Trump. We promise you we'll be good on this issue. We promise you. Imagine bending over backwards to get this fucking dweeby little nerd's endorsement. Like, literally the only reason he's known is because he shot some people. That's it. Now, by the way, the court case was what the court case was. And if you want to say, hey, that was all in self-defense, hey, you're entitled to that perspective and that position. But let's not pretend like he's known for anything else other than just shooting people. So all you have to do in order to become a star on the right is kill some people who have different politics from you. That's it. Like that, you get elevated to hero status if you murk some people with the opposite politics. That's always disturbed me. To elevate him as some sort of hero and have him do the right-wing speaking circuit and have him take pictures with politicians. It's like all he did was kill. That's it. Okay, so that part's embarrassing, that the Trump campaign reached out to him. I mean, Jesus Christ, they were way too fucking online if they did that. But the other thing is, look, I respect the original position. He's like, look, I'm not going to vote for Trump because my thing is the Second Amendment. I think he curtailed the Second Amendment. I don't like that. I respect that. I respect that because it's an actual policy-based perspective, right? Now, I don't know which things he would point to as, hey, Trump curtailed the Second Amendment with this, right? I remember Trump banned bump stocks. Remember that? Trump banned bump stocks because they had been used in a couple recent shootings, and it's sort of like a workaround to the ban on fully automatic weapons. And so he banned bump stocks. I remember giving him credit at the time for banning bump stocks. I thought that was a good idea. And my guess is that's probably what Kyle Rittenhouse was thinking of. It's possible he might be referring to maybe a different executive order on guns that I'm unfamiliar with, or some general policy that he pushed that I'm unfamiliar with. But like, who are we kidding? Trump's position is definitely the more reasonable position. And it seems to me like Kyle Rittenhouse has brought himself to the position, like the Tim Pool position of like, bro, you should be able to have a nuke if you want to have a nuke, bro. It says right to bear arms, bro. This isn't even debatable, bro. You could have a nuke. You could have an RPG. You could have a cannon. You could have whatever, full-ass Gatling gun, whatever you want, bro. Whatever you want, bro. And so he's also showing that he's a literal child yet again here. Like, that's a very childlike, no regulations at all in any way, shape, or form, even though in the Second Amendment, they literally use the word regulate. Oh, man. So, but anyway, the Trump people are really not helping with the accusations that you guys function like a cult. Yeah, they fucking do. And this is the clearest. One person steps out of line and they unleash the demons of hell on him. And then he just falls back and, okay, all right, yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, very healthy system you got going on there. Way to bring people back into the fold, chastise them, berate them. You know, this is what happens when people try to leave cults. It's this sort of angry reaction, the like sort of you're dead to me reaction. Wait a second, isn't it you guys who told us you should steel man your opponents, don't straw man your opponents, you should reach out to people and have conversations and discussions, and you should be willing to discuss any ideas and come to a civilized agreement, and you guys are the ones who tell us about the value of dialogue and the value of discussion and the value of, communicating in a way that is reasonable. And then here you are, somebody steps out of line and it's just like, fuck him, he's dead to me. And then you harass him. And then eventually, since he's a child, again, he falls back in line. Oh, I didn't mean it. Well, probably what he realizes, bro, you are hurting your bottom line here. Because the only people that give you love and attention and money, it's the right-wing circuit, right? And so that probably ultimately is the thing that pushed him back in line. But I don't doubt that the Trump people called him, and I don't doubt that the Trump people in particular, like the campaign staffers, they probably were like, look, we'll walk you through it. Here's how much we're pro-Second Amendment or whatever. It's all the cultists who are on social media and the commentators. They're the ones who were, you're dead to me. You're dead to me, Kyle. So anyway, Kyle Rittenhouse giving a bad name to all Kyles. It's a damn shame. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.